investing in this era of artificial intelligence. And he said, rather than trying to benefit from artificial intelligence, I prefer to benefit from the natural stupidity of others.
That's well said.
Right? So, whenever there is fear, whenever there is panic, whenever there is volatility, it creates unprecedented opportunities. Your ability to take those decisions to benefit from such unprecedented opportunities is what makes all the difference. I'm sure you recollect Roger Federer's speech. I forget at which university, but at some university he gave it. I think Dartmouth, if I'm not mistaken. He says, I won 54% of the points that I played, but I won 80% of the matches that I played. So, which points you win is important. People say that you must improve your win-loss ratio. No. It is more important to win the crucial points. And George Soros says it beautifully. It does not matter whether you are right or wrong. What matters is how much money you make when you are right and how much you lose when you are wrong. This is very important. If when you make the right decision, you can get 100x, 200x, 300x. It makes all the difference. There's this famous story of some housekeeper of Jeff Bezos in his early days. She gave some of her money to Jeff Bezos when Jeff Bezos was starting. And she forgot all about it. And she's a billionaire today. So, what matters really is winning those crucial points.
Right.
And that is why I say it is a game of probabilistic. I mean, investing is a probabilistic game. Investing is also an infinite game. You cannot play an infinite game with a finite mindset. Right? And because it is probabilistic, you have to act according to your conviction. So let me tell you that the first time that we bought Titan, which is Rakeshji's most storied investment, everybody knows that we made a lot of money in Titan. But what goes behind it is what I'm going to share with you today. We made our first investment in Titan at the price of 32 rupees in 2002. One share then is 20 shares today, so today's cost is 1 rupee 60 paise per share. So from the first purchase, we are up more than 2,000 odd times, not percentage.
Times, yeah.
Times.
Percentage is irrelevant.
But we also bought at a price of 70 to 80 rupees. And then we bought more at a price of 140 rupees. And then we bought more at a price of 240 rupees. And then we bought our last round of Titan at a price of 900 rupees. So we bought at 30x our first purchase. Most people sell at 30% above the first purchase. There are many who sell at 3% above the first purchase.
Short-term bets.
So the trick is to keep increasing the bet size as your conviction keep increasing. It's a game of probability. If you don't understand that, you are not taking the right decisions.
You used a very right word, conviction. And conviction actually comes from an inner thinking process of having confidence in what you're doing, because conviction cannot come unless you have confidence in what you're doing. And confidence comes from your past experiences. That relates to me. I remember I was sitting with you and Bhaiya in 2007. at the time at the peak of the market. And it was a festival for 2006 when many of the PE fund, right, from SEC to I mean, without giving name, there were many private equity funds who were saying so, which was based on a third party money. I just asked you and Bhaiya at that time that, अरे आप क्यों नहीं फंड चालू करते? I just remember one thing मैंने बोला, जिस दिन मैं दूसरों का पैसे मैनेज करूँगा, I lose my identity of individuality of taking call which I like to be correct, because the moment I have to be accountable to my decision, I know that I'll go right. The moment I have accountability to justify others' investment, I may go wrong. So rather I work a proprietary investor, and that has remained stuck in my mind ever since our disease. And we lived with that. What has been your take in the going back to past? Because you always were known for a proprietary owned individual investor, a bull, but believing what you're doing, not to justify, but holding tight.
So, Mahesh, investing has 3 phases, right? The first phase is your buy phase, then the hold phase, and then the sell phase. To buy, what do you need? No. Beyond money.
Decision making ability. Conviction.
You need 2 things: conviction and courage. Sometimes even if you have conviction and you don't have the courage to buy because, oh, oil prices are going up, oh, interest rates are going up, oh, rupee is depreciating, and so on. There are always 100 reasons
Hesitancy, you can say.
to say no, but there is only one reason to say yes, which is your own conviction and your own courage. So to buy, you need conviction and courage. To hold, what do you need? You need patience and equanimity. Both. Just having patience is not possible if you don't have equanimity. So patience and equanimity. And then to sell. When do you sell? Either you try to sell based on markets, but then you will not get those 100, 200, 500, whatever baggers.
Yeah.
You sell when your investment thesis is broken.
Yeah.
During our journey of Titan, for example,
Yeah.
since that is the one that we spoke about,
Yeah.
in 2008, it dropped more than 40%. We didn't sell any. There were other stocks which also dropped more than 40%, which also we did not sell, but they were monkeys and not gorillas.
That's a difference.
So holding on to those did not help us. But holding on to Titan made all the difference. The 40% drop was temporary. The value that the company was creating was permanent.
Yeah.
So you have to realize what is temporary and what is permanent. And above all, how do you get the courage and the conviction to buy? How do you get the patience and the equanimity to hold? So there is a beautiful book called 100x or 100 baggers, I forget, which says you have to have the vision to see, the patience to hold, the courage to buy and the patience to hold. All 3. In our mind, the foundation for both courage and conviction and equanimity and patience is one thing, which is what we call as a differentiated insight. You need to be able to see something that others are not able to see, to be able to buy at that time and at that price. Because for every buyer there is a seller, no?
Yes. You can't buy it otherwise, yeah.
So what is it that you bring to the table? You bring to the table a differentiated insight, which is why we choose a time horizon of 10 years and above. Because 99% of the people in the financial markets don't have a time horizon of 10 years and above. So automatically you are not competing with them, right? That itself.
So by that means itself, like, because your proprietary mindset, proprietary capital give a very long horizon to take a decision based on your own.
See, it's not necessary that only proprietary investors get that. There are also professional investors who do get that. Increasingly, we are seeing crossover funds which have a 30-year life,
Yeah.
and so on. So I don't want to get into the debate of professional versus proprietary investors. What I want to emphasize,
Or rather the proprietary mindset that it is my money, whether others' money is also is my money, then
of
I
course,
think your decision is going to be on the correct pulse of situation.
see, even if it is proprietary, does not mean that you have a time horizon of 10 years.
Absolutely.
As I said,
Opposite
99%
change, yeah.
who have their own money don't have the time horizon of 10 years plus. So it's imperative to have that differentiated insight. And it is most imperative to learn how to build that differentiated insight.
That's good. So, in that, having seen you as a friend, and many ways we had a very interesting discussion every 3 4 times. So there was a time you said you were invested in Aquarius as a starting point, and I was running Singhi as a single owner. Till remain, I'm a single owner. It's not a question of ownership; it's a sense of ownership, which my team has always said remained with me in almost 20 years. So there was a time which came a point that what is the direction any entrepreneur can take to his business based on perpetual views or based on a time value of a views. There's always a dilemma because you have been also having the two parts which is trust is nothing but your trust for the future, like holding a baby to grow to the level at which you can sit back and say, yes, I created trust. How do you manage those conflicted position or a situation which may be seen differently by one side of world, same side of world will see it differently?
See, it depends on what you define as the purpose and passion for yourself. So long as the purpose and passion for yourself is to build and to create value, okay? And if so long as you're thinking win-win, then you will hopefully consistently take the right decisions. And even if you do take the wrong decision, you will rectify it. If your purpose is to build a company so that you can encash it, right? Then that's a different mindset. And I'm not here to judge anybody,
Each one
right?
is the right in their own ways.
Absolutely. I'm just sharing with you that my purpose is and my passion is to build something that lasts beyond me and